Sometimes looking through a camera lens provides an alternative view to what's actually going on. People like Kimberly keep to themselves, stays quiet in arguments, but somehow manages to capture every moment. She seems like a typical girl who gets along with everyone, but it's always safe to expect the unexpected. Kelly, on the other hand, aside from having a slight loose screw, seems to know exactly what she wants. She'll stop at nothing to get it, no matter what the consequences are. These girls are completely different individuals, but are actually more alike than you think. Lately, Kimberly and Joe have been absolutely inseparable. It seems they've stuck together like glue and have never seen apart, aside from class, of course. You have to ask the question, how and why did they become so close? From not knowing each other to sharing an apartment and keeping secrets? Did something happen that we don't know about? Today is the first day in the apartment, and of course, the neighbours have come to nose around the building. It may take a while for Amaya to adjust to her new place, as she doesn't have her YouTube filming equipment set up yet, but as for the guests, I wouldn't say they came welcomingly, but it seems as though only one person brought a housewarming gift.
Siwa Kimba?
Pretty noble.
Pator. Ah, Rochi. Tori.
These girls seem to be getting along with everyone really well, and Kelly just couldn't seem to get Don Lothario out of her brain. She talked about him all night, while the girls gave her some great advice to leave him alone. He has a terrible reputation for sleeping with women a few times and then dumping them for someone younger. Ugh. Meanwhile, Joe had captured Keegan's attention. Bear in mind he's in a relationship, and his girlfriend's in the other room. Joe tried in the nicest way possible to let him know she was just not interested. In the first episode, we saw Liberty and Kelly hang out at the art school, and they happened to meet Detective Matthew, who also just happened to show up at her housewarming. Creepy much? Joe is still trying her hardest to deter Keegan by not showering, plus his girlfriend is sitting at the table. She didn't want her getting the wrong idea since he's been eye-groping her all evening. Obviously, at first, Liberty had to give him the look as to say, "What are you doing here?" His explanation? "I was just walking by and saw the back gate open." All Liberty could think of next was to walk away. In the living room, the girls are still giving Kelly love advice, and Keegan's even chiming in on the subject too. But it looks as though Chloe is having more fun winding up her neighbour in the best way she knows how. Chloe tends to get a kick out of making people feel uncomfortable, and that's exactly what she's doing right now. I think her face pretty much says it all.
Melody!
With all this done talk, Kelly decided to invite him over and confront him herself. He came right over, and yes, Kelly started off really well by moving to the other side of the room. But of course that didn't last very long. The flirting began, and she could not resist his charm.
Swag. Rebna.
Things were getting a little intense, so she invited him to her apartment upstairs, where the flirting went from 20 to about 100 in a matter of hours. And before they knew it, there were flying pink balloon hearts everywhere. Meet Gia Cardona. She is a beautiful young adult that captures the heart of every man she meets, and she tends to capture something of her own too. Gia set her sights on her first victim. Unfortunately, Michael happened to be walking by while she was on the prowl. They chatted for a little bit before she invited him into her, let's just call it, a layer. Michael either doesn't have many brain cells or he's just infatuated by her and seems to think this was legitimately her house. She told him she was going to run to the cafe next door and get some drinks, and he stupidly, most patiently waited. Little did he know that the door was not going to open when he wanted to leave. He called out for her a few times, but she was too busy watching the game. By now it was morning and he'd been down there all night, still totally clueless. He just waited for her. She knew it was the first day of classes and she didn't really want to have a target on her back, so she decided to let him out. But Michael has officially been marked. He should definitely watch his back from now on. Gia saw her first day of classes as an opportunity to meet future victims for her sick and twisted plans. Oh, and trust me, they are very twisted. She acted like everything was perfect. She greeted all of her fellow classmates, and in particular found Joe and Cameron to be people who sparked her evil interest. She just nodded and smiled when really in her head she was actually plotting. Damon noticed something was strange about her and was watching her through the window. Gia, however, is a psychic, and she knew he was looking at her. She came in and told him, "You may be looking at me now, but there are more than 2 eyes on you right now." He pretty much just ignored her and kept it moving, while Professor Raymond Hummel seemed to have caught the Gia love bug. Gia, on the other hand, had set her sights on Rodney, who was of course flushed. The school day drew a close and she headed back home. Back to her master plan, she called Michael to come over. She was hungry for something evil. Michael ran over within minutes, and he said to her he wasn't sure what happened last night with the door and suggested she just gets it fixed. But while Gia was out, she had a new bed installed downstairs. She knew she would have to change her tactics to lure him in another way. And once again, he followed her into the lair. She decided to make a move, which of course he loved. He just couldn't believe such an attractive girl was even interested in him. Ultimately, it ended up in more than just a move. After the brief moment of hearts, she made a quick escape and had the door removed. Oh, poor Michael, what will happen to you? Calling for help won't do you any good. How will you get out this time? Gia decided to write about her first victim in her online journal and title it, "The joy of the capture is nothing like the joy of the kill." At the girls' dorms, Ryan was missing her BFF Joe and decided to focus her attention on the RA Damon. They laughed and joked for hours, but she still started to miss Joe a little bit more. So she went into a room to chat with Joe online. The conversation lasted suspiciously longer than usual, and it seemed as though Ryan had left their chat with a mission in mind. She ran to Damon's room, but it seemed as though he wasn't interested in what she was asking or offering. Ryan's mood quickly changed. In the second episode, we saw her on the roof. Could she have been ready to jump, or was Ryan quickly started throwing low blows at Damon? She upset him to a point of anger, embarrassment, and eventually depression. As he got sad, she got happier. Being mean to him was somehow masking how she felt about Joe leaving. She followed him around the dorms, constantly antagonizing him, laughing in his face. She knew she was going too far, but she didn't seem to care. Absolutely mortified, Damon felt lifeless and like he was in some kind of parallel universe. He came downstairs to drink his sorrows away, but could barely function to even pour himself a glass. He knew Ryan could be standing at any corner. It seemed as though Damon's sadness had spread to Max, but how? And why? It's as though she could sense what was about to happen. Damon was dead.
Who are we gonna choose, huh?
The girls all headed to school like nothing had happened, but word travels fast, and by this time everyone knew. Caroline headed to music school, and Damon was the topic of conversation. Justin, who had only met him a few times, decided to deliver a speech to the students letting them know Damon was found dead in the dorms. The lingering question on everyone's mind is who killed him? How did he die? Who found him? Why is he dead? That's for you guys to figure out. Leave in the comments your theory of how Damon died. There's certainly motive against many students, but he could have taken his own life. As the story continues, more drama will unfold. Much more. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this drama-filled episode 5. I know that it's much shorter than an average Let's Play, but trust me, this is like 3 hours of footage condensed down. If you guys liked it, please hit the thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're brand new to my channel, and this is also kind of like a little present for helping me hit 11k yesterday. Whoop! So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you guys want me to do more Let's Plays like this, I probably won't do every episode like this because it took me like forever to do this episode, but if you guys liked it and would like me to do more, then let me know in the comments down below. I had so much fun. I can't wait to read your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!